Hello, I'm Claire from Wild Ginger Running, the trail and ultra running YouTube channel, and this is my flat lay for the Manx Mountain Marathon 50k race. That's about 31 miles in the Isle of Man in 2 days time. And I'm just going to take you through what I'm wearing and what I'm packing as well. So first of all, footwear. These are the Scott RC Super Track 2s. They're really grippy. They've got 5mm studs on the bottom there, and I haven't cleaned them since I've last worn them, but they, I find, are the perfect mixture between, they're sort of pretty water resistant on the uppers. They're made of Shirla fabric there on the uppers, and they just provide really good grip as well. They're 5mm drop, so I just find that really good for what I need for that kind of terrain. It's kind of boggy out there. Then the socks, I'm wearing a pair of higher terrain socks. They're just bog standard socks. I do have a little bit of an issue on the arch of these shoes. So I'll get to my blister kit in a moment there. I'm just going to work my way anti-clockwise around here. So I do know that there might be an issue after about 15 miles in these shoes. So I haven't actually run for a month because I've had the flu. So this is actually coming from a 4-week taper, which is not ideal, but I'm going to take everything with me and see how it goes. Next up, we've got some food. I've done the race 10 years ago, and I remember there wasn't really any food. I've checked with a friend. I don't think there's much food beyond like a jelly baby at a checkpoint. So I'm taking with me some just Aldi's finest bars. I've got 4 of these. I've got some wiggly worms as well, and I will be supplementing this with a cheese sandwich also, which I obviously aren't going to make 2 days before, and also probably some pizza as well. So I'll just take a couple of slices of pizza and a cheese sandwich, because I'm probably going to be out there for at least 8 hours, if not 10. So I'm going to need some real fuel. I'm not going to be going too fast either. Mandatory kit, so it comes under the FRA rules. So I have to take full body waterproof cover with a non-detachable hood. So I've got for that my Innovate jacket here. It's the Trail Shell waterproof. It's a Pertex shell. It's really lightweight, and I really like wearing that. These are the Montane Podium pants. They're really light. They're about 100 grams, and they're just good to put in your pack just in case. So they're the Montane Podium waterproof pants. They don't do a women's version. You can see they're really thin. You can see things through them. They don't do a women's version, but I find that they're stretchy enough and fine enough to wear. One little tip is, I obviously don't wash things after I use them, but always leave them unzipped so that it's easier to get them on the top of a mountain or wherever you're trying to get them on mid-race. That's my little tip for you there. And then fold them up so that the mud doesn't all fall out. Alongside that mandatory kit, I have to take a compass because it might get misty on the tops. I remember it being very misty on Snaefell last year when I covered the race in the film that you can watch here actually, so check out the film there. And I also need a map as well, so I've just printed out the race organiser's map there, and I can refer to that on the way round if needed. Hopefully there'll just be a line of people in front of me. I've got some safety pins just here for my race number. I'm sure they have them, but I've got so many. I'm really pleased I remember to take them with me this year. And we've got a Wild Ginger Running buff. You can buy these on my shop. If you click the link just here, you can buy one of these in orange or blue or pink. They're only £10. Then this is my really old visor. I love to wear a visor. I'll probably stick some sunglasses in as well. But possibly not actually, because it might not be that sunny. But I always wear a visor anyway, along with sun cream, obviously. I'm ginger. Then around here, we've got some gloves. This one's got a hole in the middle finger, and that is vital for operating such things as an iPhone and taking photos on the way around. So don't try this at home, but that's what I use. And then I've got this lovely Lumi Life hat, which is also a hat is part of the mandatory kit as well. So it's really nice to have a super lightweight, really warm merino wool hat there. Oh, I forgot my leggings. So if I just move the shoes out the way, these are the leggings. I've had these Howie's leggings for absolutely years now. They are 3/4 in length, which I really like. It's like the perfect combination between not being too hot and not being too cold. There's a zip pocket at the back which will fit my phone. Sometimes I pop my phone in my back pocket, and I have sewn these up because I love them so much. I've sewn these up probably about 4 times now, so they're just coming apart at the seams there. So I feel very good and eco-friendly for doing that. Garmin Forerunner 255. I need to work out how to do navigation on watches. I'm a bit old school, so generally I navigate using actual map and compass, or just following the person in front. So I will be testing some GPS watches next year, because I hope to do possibly the Lakeland 100 if I can manage the Lakeland 50 this July. So I will be looking into watches like this and beyond next year, so watch out for that. But at the moment I just use this to tell the time and to track stuff like distance, pace, yeah, distance, pace basically, and that's about it, I think. I'm very low tech. This t-shirt, I haven't actually worn that beyond a couple of runs yet, so I know you're not supposed to use anything new on race day, but it's just a t-shirt. I think I've worn it on a couple of runs, but it's really nice, really like the bright blue colour. So thanks very much to for sending me part of their new range for the summer. Bra, very important. I often wear this shock absorber ultimate run bra, I think it's called. It's designed for running. I find it a little bit tight around the chest for just wearing generally in day-to-day life, so I save it for runs. It's light, it doesn't chafe, it's got really wide straps, and it secures me from bounce, so I really recommend these bras, but I'd go for a slightly wider chest strap if I was you, because it does come up a bit tight. And then these pants that I've got, these are my Patagonia pants. I've had them for donkey's years. I think I've probably had them for 15 years now, and look, they have just lasted and lasted. So top marks to Patagonia for making stuff that lasts so long. They are a super eco-friendly company anyway, but that's just really good to know. Definitely recommend Patagonia pants. Then we come on to the filming side of things, because obviously I'll be filming this for the race and for my YouTube channel, Wild Ginger Running. So I've got the GoPro Hero 8 Black here. It's just on a selfie stick, so I don't know if you've seen any of my race films before. I tend to sort of hold it out like that, film me, film everyone around me, and then you can just pop it back and secure it in your backpack like that. So that's my GoPro. Then handy, I have in my backpack a GoPro battery, which I'll just put in probably a zip pocket here. I'll have my phone as well for safety reasons and selfie reasons. And this is just my other tech bag. So it's just got a spare GoPro in it. So it's got a spare whole GoPro head in there, which I can just attach to the selfie stick if the spare battery doesn't work, or if I drop it, or, you know, something like that. I've got another spare battery. I've got a battery charger. I've got cables for my phone and for my GoPro, and some spare SD cards in there as well, because sometimes they just become corrupted and they want you to format the whole thing. So you don't want to do that, obviously, if you've got half a ton of footage on there. So I just tend to take another one so that I can swap a spare one in if necessary. Fingers crossed that won't happen. So that's the GoProing equipment. Backpack, I'm using the Salomon Advanced Skin 12 set. I'm currently testing backpacks for the Lakeland 50 and the possible 100 next year. So I've got quite a few, but I have been getting on really well with this Advanced Skin here. I like the fact that the bottles are secured. They're sort of stored quite low down in the pack. I like that because it's under the boob. Otherwise you just get like double boob if you've got larger boobs. Obviously not a problem that men will have, but I just find that really comfy personally. I find that there's lots of really easily accessible pockets as well. So, and then you can even stuff stuff in the back here. It's got a stuffable pocket back here, and it's got a little sort of pouch at the top here that you can even stuff a waterproof in, so you can actually reach that from behind. So I really like that pack. And then anything you don't really need to access quickly you put in there. I'm not going to be using poles for this event because it's just 30 miles, so I don't think I'm going to be needing poles. I will be looking at where poles attach on the backpacks in my test coming up, so I'll be covering that in a separate film if you're interested in that. So emergency stuff. Oh, this is just like, I've just pulled like something here in my bottom of my ribs, picking up Finley or doing something or other. So I've just got some eye believe. I'm not going to take it with me, but I'm just going to keep it handy. Like just put some on before the race start maybe, and maybe put some, give some to Steve to possibly give to me at St John's, which is the halfway point where spectators can like get stuff to you. And some K-tape here. I don't actually need to use any K-tape. I've got some here for my blisters, but it's just, you know, like on the start of a race, there's always somebody that's like, oh, has anyone got any K-tape? I've been that person before. Has anyone got any K-tape? And I just wanted to be prepared for anybody that needed K-tape. So that's that. I've got an emergency gel. It's a Morton gel. I actually do really like these gels, so it won't be a chore to dip into that should I need it. And then I've got my first aid kit as well. So inside that, I've just got, I've got some normal tissues. You might need to go to the loo. I've got some pre-cut K-tape. So I mentioned before, didn't I, about the shoes. I sometimes get a blister on the arch of my foot. So this will nicely go just around that arch of the foot if I start to feel a hot spot burning there. So I've pre-cut those in just because I know that might happen. I've got some antimicrobial hand wipes as well, because you know if you fall over you could get could just get a load of grit on you or just mud and stuff, and you just need to be able to wipe that area before you attend to it. Then I've got some alcohol wipes as well, antiseptic wipes. I've got various different just plasters, and these are not just for me, it's for anybody else that might take a fall on the race. These are just generic plasters, just, you know, cuts on maybe barbed wire or scrapes on a rock or something. I've got some woven swabs. It's like a gauze thing, so if I'm finding it really tricky just with this, I can put some gauze on as well. I might have to tear it because I'm not taking any scissors. Who knows what will happen there. I've got some pre-cut smaller K-tape, the pink stuff here, and that's to go on my toes if I start getting blisters in my toes. And I've got some smaller blue as well, just in a similar vein to this one. And then I have got some Compeed as well. I was re-watching my blister care film that I did with Nikki Summers, who's a medic on the Dragon's Back. You can watch that here if you're interested in how to care for blisters, because I used to use these in like the 90s, 2000s, but the advice has very much changed now. And the advice is to put this gauze on and then K-tape on top. But I've got loads of Compeed left, so I was thinking maybe I can use the Compeed instead of the gauze and put the K-tape on top. So I don't know if that's going to work, but it's just a mad plan that I have. And then I've just got, that's another plaster there. I don't think I need all those plasters. Maybe I'll take some out. But then I've just got a bandage as well, just in case something bad happens, something worse happens. And if something like that does happen, you can use layers of clothing to stop the blood. So I've got like buff, hat. Oh, I don't know if I should pack a jumper type layer. I probably won't need a jumper type layer, but I'll see what the temperature is on race day. I may well put in a really light long sleeve base layer as well, just to be on the safe side. And you can use something like that to pad out something as well, if you need to in a case of emergency. So that is everything that I'm packing, and now I'm going to show you where I'm going to put it all in my backpack, because some things you'll need really quick access to and other things you can put a bit further away. So I'm going to be wearing these. I'll move all these things out of the way. So first of all, the thing that I'll have to definitely stop to use and hopefully won't use is the first aid kit. So that's going to go in this zip pocket, which I cannot access on the move. And along with that is going to be my emergency food as well. I'm going to put my hat and gloves and buff into this clear plastic bag. It just means that if it does start raining, it's not going to get wet, because the last thing you want to do is be running for a while in the damp and become a bit cold, and then you find that all your stuff is wet that's supposed to be keeping you warm. So I'm going to put my hat and gloves in here. I'm going to keep my buff in a handy pocket because it might be cold. The race starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, so it might be a bit cold. So I'm going to put the buff just in one of these pockets here. Let's just put the gloves handy as well, because it is going to be early in the morning and you don't know what it's like on the top. So gloves is going to be on off too. So the only thing we've got in there is now the hat. I think I'm going to actually put the waterproof trousers in there as well. The hat and waterproof trousers in this bag here. And then squish the air out of them. And the reason I like to use these plastic bags rather than an actual dry bag is you can see through them, so you can see immediately what you're pulling out of your bag. And they're just as good as long as you keep good care of them. So that's going to go down the bottom there, inside the pack. GoPro battery, I will need that. So I'm going to put that in a zip pocket so that it doesn't go anywhere. And these are, I'll probably have to stop if I'm going to be switching anything else up with my kit. So I'm going to put these in the bag as well. I'm going to put these along with the first aid kit in that zip pocket there. So they're fairly easy to get at, but they're not going to be sticking into my back because they're a bit kind of hard. So behind here, I'm going to put my waterproof. I'll probably be wearing that, to be honest, but then I'll probably take it off and I'll just put it behind here like that. I don't know whether I'm going to be taking 500 mils of water or a whole litre of water. Each one of these is 500 millilitres. I'm not sure yet, but usually I take 500 mils of water and then I put the GoPro in this one here on the right hand side. So I'm just going to put both in there for the time being. Then food, you want that up front obviously, so I'll put a couple of bars just here and a couple of bars round in this pocket here under the gloves. And then I think I'll put my sandwich maybe in this top part here so that I can grab it. Or maybe I'll put these snakes in there. Yeah, I'll put them in there. This might all change as the race continues. Compass, probably want that handy too. So I'll just pop this in this side pocket here, just along with the buff there and a couple of more snacks. I hope that I don't need to use the map. I hope that I can just follow everybody. There we are. And the compass in there. So these were just things that I'm going to take with me to registration. And don't forget my safety pins. I'll just put them in the other zip pocket here, but I'll be using those presently. Okay, so that is me all packed and ready for the Manx Mountain Marathon 50k race on the Isle of Man. Wish me luck. I have done a 4-week taper through no fault of my own, got the flu, so I just hope that I can just get round. So check the film out here. I'll be putting that up shortly, and yep, have a great weekend of racing everybody, and hope that your race goes well.